and I want to get your reaction to this, Lawless. People within Arsenal, think Gabriel Jesus is a top 5 number 9 in the world at his best. That's how highly they rate him.
Who said that?
Charles Watson said that about insiders at Arsenal saying what they think about Gabriel Jesus. And I mean, if that's what they're saying now, they're not signing a number 9, are they? Or maybe I'm misreading that.
Well, why would you need to? If you got a top 5? You got a top 5 striker in the world. Why would you need to sign one? If that's how they,
bro, he doesn't start over Havertz, bro. Let's be honest. So he's actually ranked number 2 in Arsenal. So how's he top 5 in the world? But he's number 2 in his team.
They may have 2 of the top 5 in the world in their mind, but from what I've seen, every Arsenal fan that I've spoke to, every Arsenal fan I've seen talk about it, I don't think the fan base as a whole agrees with that assessment on Jesus. So if they really have that faith that Jesus is going to just, hit the ground running again this next season.
I hear you. Do you think with Arsenal it's a case of they're looking to sell some players first? Is this a little bit about balancing the books, the sort of Nketiahs, the Smith Rowes, the Fabio Vieiras? Do you think that's why they're not
Reece Nelson to us? I know that's ongoing at the moment. Reece Nelson to West Ham. So yeah, I think there is a sell to buy. Well, they don't have. I don't think they're that desperate where they can only buy if they sell. But I think they really do want to sell this season before they go out and splash, so they can really look at what they've got. But it's just it's not moving as quick as they'd like to on sales, because the players that they want to sell, the money that they're on, they're not that appealing. Like I said, we're linked with Reece Nelson, but I don't think we're that desperate to get. It's not one of them players like, oh, we got to get Reece Nelson. There's an interest, but I think that's the same with a lot of their players. They haven't got that much talent that other clubs and smaller clubs are desperate for. And that's a shame for them, but that's how it goes.
Listen,
this is not top 5 in the world, but let's just be honest. He's a good player. He's not top 5 in the world. There's a reason why they're going to get another striker. There's a reason why they got Havertz. And there's a reason why they want to get another winger, because he can't stay fit. He's technically good. The guy came out last year and said, my best strength is not scoring goals. So let's not even joke about this. The guy admitted it. So if he admitted it, I don't care what anyone else says. I don't know who said that, but it's never too late to seek help, But, Arsenal, listen, I'm not going to lie. They're looking a little stagnant right now. And one of the worst things to do as a football team is to stay where you are, because you allow people to catch up. While you're not moving forward, someone else is moving forward. So it's not looking good for Arsenal right now. And the preseason kicks off in about a week anyways. If not before that. I actually don't know when. But I know they play us next weekend.
They play us next weekend, yeah. I think they may have one game before that. Look, Arsenal are still going to be in the title race next year, in my opinion. I still think they're going to be a dangerous, very difficult team to beat. Some of their youngsters will be another year older. I think you'll see a better Saliba. You might see a better Saka and everything else. But they've got to start getting some of these names in soon. They need to get them integrated in their preseason. I think it's going to be really, really important. But having said that, City have been quiet. Liverpool have been very quiet. Sorry?
They got Savio, though.
Yeah, yesterday. But they did. But it's one of their own players from one of their other clubs. It's not a difficult deal to get done.
When I see that, I had to look twice. I thought they brought Savio back. He used to play one of the worst players to have ever graced a West Ham shirt. Honestly, that's when I see that headline.
But overall, City have been quiet. Liverpool have done nothing. Arsenal have done nothing so far. Do you think there's something in that, or are we putting 2 and 2 together and getting 137? Because it's interesting that the 3 best teams in England have done very little in the market so far.
I think Liverpool don't surprise me. We've seen FSG, I think, be very stringent over the past, few windows. So they don't surprise me. Man City, that surprises me a bit. Obviously, they've been linked with De Bruyne potentially going, all of that sort of stuff. So I guess they're needing to see if he's staying or going, what that situation is and what they'll need from there. But yeah, it is a bit surprising that these clubs that, you do expect to come in and be leading the transfer window and splashing down money ain't doing it. So maybe there is something there. But like you said, you never know. If you're complacent, you're not going to be the top three, the best three, because there are other clubs, coming behind. Man United now trying to claw that spot back. Aston Villa spending money. You never know if they could break in to that position. Chelsea, I don't know what Chelsea are going to look like. Spurs with Angie's second season. Maybe he can build on and show what he's learned from last season. So I don't think they should take anything for granted. Like it's us three and the rest are just doing their own thing. That could all change next season.
Yeah, I mean, a few City fans in the comment section saying we're getting Bruno Guimaraes, but isn't he now more expensive than he was a month ago because of the release clause being over? I'm not saying City won't get hit done because City, we remove the court cases that are coming up, and this just sit in a world where they've done nothing wrong. They're a very well-run club. But because they're a well-run club, I've got to challenge the Bruno Guimaraes deal. Why are you going to, unless you think you're going to get him for less than the buyout clause now, why would you have not just paid the buyout clause earlier? Because typically a club then won't go, we'll sell him for less after the buyout clause ends. Or maybe you think Newcastle will. I'd love to get your views and opinions on that because that's a strange one. That's like an Ed Woodward move. You can get a player for 20 million, but you leave it too late and buy him for 27 million a week later. That's an Ed Woodward thing. He did it with Fellaini. So
maybe they're hoping player pressure pushes the price down.
Yeah.
Put some pressure on Newcastle and say, look, I want to leave. I want you to sell me. I want to go Man City. Weaken their hand a little bit. Maybe they're banking on that. I didn't know about the clause expiring. So yeah, that will be interesting because I think the clause was what, like 100 mil, was it? The release clause?
Yeah. See, again, though, this says buyout clause is full payment up front. I don't think that's the law in England. I think that's a Spanish law. I don't think that law exists in England. Maybe it does. Maybe it's in the contract. That would make sense. But I'm not sure if that's a law in the UK. This comment here from an Arsenal fan says, today I heard that we are linked with Pedro Neto and he'd be a great Saka backup. Yeah, I've read that story today. I mean, Pedro Neto to Arsenal. I mean, does that move the needle enough for you, Staffy?
I don't think he's a backup. I think he should start for most teams in the Premier League. Not necessarily over Saka, because I just look at your the lawless, his eyes just went wide. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I think he's good enough to start somewhere. So if they get him, then there you go. Start him on the left because he can play on both sides, and he's very good. But that's a good.
I agree. I don't think. Would you think he'd want to go and be a backup to Saka? I think
that's what I was going to say. I don't think he's a backup. I actually think he goes somewhere and starts. Yeah, so if they do sign him, then I think he starts at Arsenal. Why not?
Okay.
He'd start on the left.
On the left, okay.
Yeah. I'm not really convinced about Martinelli because I saw a few people cry when I said go get Nico Williams, and people were like, "Oh yeah, Martinelli's better." No, he's not better. What world is Martinelli better than Nico Williams? We just watched Nico Williams in one of the biggest footballing tournaments in the world. They absolutely balled out, when no one expected it, I guess. And
they love
left and right and center. So it's like I don't understand what this sensitive. I mean, I understand it because it's Arsenal fans. Why am I asking this? We know they're sensitive, but no. If you want to go get a Pedro Neto, I don't know how serious the links are, but Pedro Neto is a very good player, and it gives him a lot. And I think he fits the way Arteta likes to play because he does do a lot off the ball as well. He is a runner. Of course, his injury record is one to be worried about. But if you can't get Nico Williams because of the logistics, then go ahead and get Pedro Neto. Why not? But they need to make a move, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, you cannot just stay where you are when City are already making moves. Liverpool are a joke, but Liverpool are right on your tail as well. So you don't know if Liverpool are going to make any moves this summer. You cannot just sit there and not make any moves. Like, I don't understand what I said that's wrong. Because I saw people saying, "Oh yeah, but where's United?" Why? I didn't compare United to Arsenal. I'm talking about within a title race. If you stay stagnant, City are making moves, and I don't know yet how good Liverpool are going to look under Slot. They might be good. They might not be good. I don't know yet, but you don't want to wait and find out. You got to go and make some moves. And I'm just kind of confused why Arsenal fans are being defensive by me saying that. Like, you want to keep going forward. Aren't you trying to win the league this year? Pep might be leaving next season as well. So do you not want to get the last one on him before he moves? Or even if Arsenal don't win the league this season, don't you want to be the next team up when Pep leaves next season? So I don't get it. I'm not really understanding what the sensitivity is about. You have made 0 signings. Actually, I'm lying. You signed an 18-year-old backup goalkeeper from Ajax. Good fucking job. That definitely moved the needle, didn't it? They haven't made a serious signing since last August. So it's been a whole calendar year. Not really sure what they're upset about. But yeah, go get Gamerish because you wasted a lot of time with Bruno Gamerish. You were supposed to get him before he went to Newcastle. And he went to Newcastle and you still haven't gotten him. So this one has actually been dragging for years. And as I said, Nico Williams, Pedro Neto, whoever it is that want, you got to go make moves. But I don't know what Edo's doing. I heard he's just back in Brazil cooking steak again. Like, bro, just go make some moves already. The season kicks off in 4 weeks.
No, but I think it is sales because they ain't even sold Ramsdale. Ramsdale's been linked with a move, I think, to Newcastle. None of these sales are happening.
Bro, I'm hearing they're saying give Partey a new contract. The hypocrisy in that fan base is insane, by the way. Last year when they got Rice, they were like, oh, now we could sell Partey. And I'm like, no, you can't sell Partey. You still need a DM to play him with Rice. And then a season, they were like, no, son. Then a season later, they're like, yeah, let's give him a new contract. Hold on a minute. You wanted to sell him last summer. And now you want to give him a new contract instead of replacing him? And wait until that he gets injured again. They're going to be, but he was injured for 3 months, 4 months. Okay, whose fault is that? I think he's on his last year of his contract, him and Jorginho. And you're still not getting Bruno Guimaraes. So what is going on over there? Like, it's actually insane what's going on. I don't get it. And then they wonder why they don't win the league. It's crazy. Go get your midfielder and get that midfield fixed.
A Hybrid Ultra here says Nico, Marino, Eze, even if we signed them now, wouldn't take part in the US tour to being on holiday. Maybe the club know there is time to negotiate. Look, I think it's fair that not every player that you're linked to would be going on this tour because of how deep they went into a tournament, but that's not stopping Man United from trying to sign Ugarte, who got to the semi-finals of the Copa America, but obviously they play a third place playoff game, so he was basically there until the final, but we're still getting the deal done. So the last thing the one thing I would say, I understand the need to sell first, makes perfect sense. I understand the not going on the tour. I understand trying to drive the price down. All these things I advocate for. And Hybrid Ultra, where I agree with you is I don't think there's like a hard and fast rules to the transfer market that you always have to stick to. However, the longer you leave it without signing a player, you leave the door open to hijacks and other people getting involved and something going wrong with that deal. Steve here was obviously a Newcastle fan. Hope you're well, bro. He says, don't think Bruno G is going. That doesn't think he's going anywhere this summer. I mean, Newcastle have kind of avoided having to sell anybody. It looks like they passed the PSR challenge by the end of June. They don't want to sell anybody. They're a club with huge ambition. So I wouldn't be surprised personally if Bruno G stays at Newcastle.
But yeah, it depends on what they want to bring in, because obviously they might not have to sell now, but to stay on the right side of PSR, they might not be able to massively spend and strengthen other areas. And if you know a player like Bruno's got his eye out the door, why not capitalize, bring in potentially 100 mil close to, and then strengthen multiple other areas in your team?
This here says, keep your crusty Guna hands off of Nico.
A part of me wants to see him go to Barca, not just to not see Arsenal get better, but I low-key want to see Barca have something to compete with Madrid for next year, because it's looking scary in Madrid.
Well, that's why Barca have got to get it done, because otherwise you ain't competing with that front line and attack. You just
like, I want to see like Mbappe and Vinny versus Yamal and Nico Williams. Like that's a good matchup to watch.
And Jude, of course. Don't forget.
No,
Jude.
like I named the two. Like,
no, I know.